Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the House of Tarot. Excuse me, I'm just trying to get comfortable. We're sitting on the couch today. We're having a couch time video here at the House of Tarot. Just trying to get comfy and organize the lighting, and I think this is the best we are going to get. So, welcome everyone. I hope that you are all doing well, and I hope that everyone is, this is what happens when I try to do these things these days. It's just always a bit much. All a bit much and all a bit too hard. Anyway, today I'm going to be doing the Getting to Know Your Witches tag, which I was very recently tagged by a Ravenflower, as in like within the last 24 hours. I was tagged in this tag. This tag has been around for a little while, though. It was first done by Little Cosmic Crow, whose link is in the description, and that was first published on the 18th of April. So a little while. April, May, June, July. Oh, yeah, a little while. Anyway, so without further ado, I think that I should just get into it before, I just keep talking, random shit. So let's do it, shall we? Question number 1 is, does your sun sign portray you correctly? If not, do your other signs... Oh, God, here we go. Now I've got feedback. Goodness me. Question number 1. All right, we're starting again. Question number 1. Does your star sign, zodiac sign, portray you correctly? If not, do your other planetary signs? I think my sun sign does portray me fairly well. I am an Aquarius, Aquarius sun sign, and I think I always get them confused, but I think my moon might be Cancer and my rising might be Pisces. I'm really not sure off the top of my head. I may have got them confused. But in saying that, I do think that my sun sign does portray me correctly, I would say. I mean, Aquarians are known as being fairly ambitious people. I'm a fairly ambitious person. I learned to be a little bit weird. I'm a little bit weird. Aquarians are known to have, be a little bit more in touch with their intuition than most. I am a little bit more in touch with my intuition. So I definitely think that I am an Aquarius through and through. Question 2. What songs bring you the most magical vibes? I am pretty obsessed with Scandinavian kind of drumming. I'm pretty sure the band that is pretty well known is Wardruna. Love their stuff. The kind of, the Scandinavian singing and the drumming and it's very, I just find like the repetition in that and like the pitches of the singing, I find that they can be quite high or like very low, and like, ooh, like that kind of stuff is very, I don't know, I just vibe with that really, really well. And that just puts me like right in, like straight in to into the zone. Question number 3 is, which of your deities, guides, ancestors are you? Which of your tarot or oracle decks is? I would say, I mean, I don't work with a lot of deity, and I haven't found that any of my guides or ancestors have necessarily been sarcastic. The closest thing that I would probably say would be Archangel Michael. I would more so describe Archangel Michael as sassy more than sarcastic. Archangel Michael, for me, tells me or communicates to me things that I wouldn't necessarily want to hear, but need to, kind of thing. So he's not really afraid to kind of call you out. I find that he also is very similar when I'm working with him with clients as well. He's not really afraid to call it out or call it how it is. I would more so say sassy than sarcastic, but that's the closest kind of thing, I think. Question number 4 is the biggest witchy mess up or misinterpretation. I don't really think that I've had like a huge kind of mess up. I mean, I think we all have those pretty close calls where we almost burn something down. I think that's just every kind of witch. I mean, I've just very recently, I've got a little altar happening just down here on my coffee table, and I had some tea lights and some candles going, and one of the tea lights, if you can see it, kind of, I'm not really sure what happened. I mean, I do. I was doing a road opening work, and this obviously was some kind of shit that needed to be kind of moved away. Anyway, the actual tea light burnt a hole on the top of my coffee table. Oh my God. Do you want to see? I'm just going to have to show you. I'm just going to have to lift you up and take you down here. Excuse all of the shit in the background. And you're on my computer, so this is going to be really hard. So let's just see. Do you see that big black hole? That? Yeah, no good. No good. That was been the most recent. Otherwise, I would probably say in the beginning when I was kind of first starting out, my biggest misinterpretation, was that you had to be Wiccan to practice witchcraft. So when I was first starting out, I was calling on, the god and the goddess and the lord and the lady for no particular reason. I didn't have any relationship whatsoever with any god or goddess. But, you just kind of, I was just going through the motions of what, the books were telling me. So anyway, that would probably be what I would say. Would you write a book on your craft spirituality? Why? If you have, if you already have, what were your challenges in doing so? I think I would write a book. Not to say that I'm going to write a book, but I think I would. I'd love writing and I love to write. Whether it would be a non-fiction book, I'm not sure. I would love to write a fiction book based on maybe based on some ideas around my spirituality and around, the different practices. If I were to write like a non-fiction informational referencey type, the standard kind of witchcraft books, I think it would be an interesting read. I mean, I practice eclectic witchcraft, Italian Stregheria, which is, not well published, or not very, I'm not going to say not well published, but not, how do I word this? Not very published, I think would be the best way. Yeah, it's not very published, I would say, perhaps. I also kind of feel the same with Scandinavian magic. Really, I haven't seen too many books on like pure kind of Scandinavian magic. So if I were to write a book, I think I would, because I definitely think that there's a gap, I guess, in the market for books based on my spirituality. But like I said, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to write a book. I feel like writing a book takes a lot of effort and time, and I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately. Question number 6 now, if someone if someone wanted to summon you into their circle, what 5 items would they need? Sure. So chocolate, coffee, red wine, a Pinot Noir to be precise. That's 3. Cinnamon flavored candles, definitely. Love cinnamon or frankincense flavored candles, or maybe cinnamon scented candles and frankincense incense. Actually, those are my 5 things. So what was it? Chocolate, coffee, and red wine as an offering, all 3 of them in no particular order, whilst burning cinnamon scented candles and burning frankincense incense. Yep, I think that's it. That's what I'm going to go with. If you were a ghost, what place would you haunt? Oh, I would love to haunt somewhere cool. Like, I'd haunt somewhere like, I don't know, I'd want to be that stereotypical ghost that haunts like the old library, or that haunts the graveyard, or that haunts, you know, the corridor in the old school or something. I don't know. I just want to haunt somewhere really cool. I would not be opposed to haunting like a forest, or like, yeah, like haunting somewhere in the forest, like a little grove or something like that. Actually, I think I'm going to go with like forest or grove as my final answer. I'm going to lock that in. What is the funniest way someone has reacted to finding out you were a witch? I don't really know the funniest way. I mean, as soon as you kind of say that kind of stuff, people are like, oh, you know, can you cast me a love spell? Or, oh, do my tarot cards? Or that's probably really only it. Once they kind of find out, they're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Do something for me kind of thing. That's probably the only real kind of way that I've had people react. I haven't had people have like an adverse reaction. I haven't had people who have, yeah, that's probably just it. Otherwise, people have been like, oh, okay, cool. You do you, boo. Number 9, do you have any superstitions? Yeah, I have a lot of superstitions, I guess. I think a lot of them are probably passed down. A lot of them are probably passed down from family members. There's lots of things like, you know, you shouldn't wear socks with holes in them because, I don't know, it'll affect your finances. Never, you know, throw money away in any denomination. What else? I don't know. I feel like with superstitions, you don't really know that you're kind of doing them until you're doing them, I guess. But I am a superstitious person. To answer that, do I have any superstitions? Yes, I do. Can I name them now? No. Am I a superstitious person? Yes, I am. I'm just trying to think of like other superstitions. I don't know. When I was younger, I always, this is not really a superstition though, this is more like a daily ritual. Before I went to bed, I always said like a protection prayer, but that was more or less like a daily ritual. It's not really a superstition, but anyway, I'm moving on from this question because I can't really answer it properly. If you could possess any fantasy magic, what would your power be? Now, it would have to be just like, it would have to be like Harry Potter magic. It would be. Like, I want to have a wand around, I want to hold a wand and say a spell and have something happen. Like, that would be it, I think. That's a very simple answer for me. I love Harry Potter. I'm obsessed. So I feel like that would be my answer. Otherwise, like, you know, everyone says like the bullshit ones, excuse my French, swearing a lot in this video I found. A lot of people say, you know, like flying or like invisibility or mind reading. I don't really care about that. I just want to be Harry Potter. I just want to be in the Harry Potter world and have my wand and do stuff with my wand. That's all I want to do. Question number 11. What is something random on your altar/altars? At this point, I don't actually have a permanent altar in my little house. I have lots of little nooks in shelves, on windowsills, and things that act as kind of little altars. So, I mean, I've obviously got an altar set up because I've got a working that's been going on here on my coffee table. So what's random here? The only thing that I would probably say that's random, for example, would be this, which is a jigger, which is like a spirit measurer for when you're creating cocktails, spirit drinks, etc., which I used as an offering. That would probably be it. And there's still a little bit in there, a little bit of. I offered in here a like a honey whiskey or maple whiskey or something. So there's something that's thick and gooey down the bottom. So that must be maybe the honey or the maple syrup left. I'm not really sure. Or the sugar. Smells sweet and delicious. So that would probably be the most random thing because I don't really, I couldn't find my normal offering cup. So this is all that I had. So that's it. That's probably the most randomest thing on this kind of working altar at this point. Otherwise, my little nooks and shelves and things have lots of, I wouldn't call them random stuff because to me it all just makes sense. Question number 12. If one of the YouTubers you watched was a genie and they could grant you 3 wishes within their power, who would it be and what wishes? You can't wish for more wishes. Now I'm gonna steal Ravenflower's answer to this and say Molly from Her Speak because I was like dying when I heard Raven's answer to this question because I too am obsessed with Molly Roberts' voice. I could listen to Molly Roberts speak forever, all day, every day. Her voice to me is just so incredible and so soothing and interesting. I just love it. So she would be my genie. I would wish for her to speak to me always. And flowers would be for a big kind of witchy YouTube community meetup in some form where everyone would be available and accessible and had the funds and the ability to be able to all be in one place at one time to just share the love. And question 3, wish number 3 would be to have an endless supply of chocolate, I would say would be it. Because whenever I run out of chocolate and I have my usual craving for chocolate and I reach for my drawer, which is by my bed, my bedside drawer, which is where I keep my chocolate, don't tell anyone. And I've run out and it's not there, I'm always so sad and I either have to get over it, roll over and go to sleep, or get in my car and drive to the shop to get some. So that would probably be it. To have my bedside drawer just constantly full of chocolate. Question 13 is, if you could instantly become an expert in any part of your craft, what would it be? I would probably... So I'm going to get a bit deep here, just a bit, a tiny little bit. I'm a little bit deep. Okay. Do I want to become an expert in anything instantly? Probably not, because I love learning. I absolutely love learning new things. I love reading. I love watching YouTube. I love listening to podcasts. I love absorbing knowledge. So I wouldn't necessarily want to instantly become an expert in something. If I were to become an expert in something, though, it would probably be to do with herbs and herbal remedies. Natural and herbal remedies is something that I've always been interested in, and I have a good kind of, there's fluff floating around. I have a pretty good knowledge in herbal remedies, and I have a good kind of repertoire up my sleeve for some good herbal remedies that I use often for lots of different things. But I would love to become an expert in it because I think it is such an amazing skill. It's an amazing knowledge, and I just think it's a knowledge that has gotten lost because, you know, before westernized medicine, before the use of chemicals and all of the, you know, stuff that are in little pills or these liquids that we ingest, all that we had access to was the natural world and the natural plants and things that we had around us to be able to use to heal us. And I think that is just so amazing and incredible and magical. So that is what I would wish to be an expert in. Number 14. When you die, what do you think will happen to you and your soul? Great question. I'm not completely sure at this point. I feel like when you die, what happens to me is that I either get cremated or put into the ground. That's what happens to me physically. What happens to me, what happens to my soul? I'm not sure. Does it go, where does it go? I don't know. Does it go to heaven or the Summerlands? I don't know. Does it, you know, get reincarnated into an animal or a tree? I don't know. I don't know. And that's my answer. I mean, maybe so let's take this answer and just extend it a little bit, because again, this is a question that I can't answer. When I die, what do I want to happen to my soul? Perhaps that's an alternative question, which I can answer. So maybe I want to just chill out for a bit. Maybe I want to just chill out and, you know, enjoy heaven or the Summerlands or, you know, post-mortem bliss, perhaps. And maybe I want to have the choice of whether I want to come back as a ghost. Maybe I want to have a choice of if I come back as a guide. Maybe I want to come back and maybe I want to have a choice if I want to be reincarnated into a rabbit or a snail or a tree. You know, what I hope to happen is to have a choice. I want to have a choice. I want to have a choice in what happens to my soul afterwards. Is that because I am a little bit of a control freak? Probably. But I want to have a choice because, again, like in most things in my life, I want to do it all. I want to put my fingers in as many pies as I can. And that is probably one of my flaws, is that I want to do so many different things. And I want to do it all, and I feel like I want to do it all now, or I want to do it all yesterday. So when I die, I don't think that'll change. I want to do it all in life, and I want to do it all afterwards as well. So that's my answer to this question. Now, the last question is question number 15. Where do you see yourself spiritually in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, spiritually, I don't know. I just want to see myself just progressing naturally as my craft has done over the last 5 years and the 5 years before that, you know? I just feel like I want to progress in the natural way that I already have been over the next 5 years. I'd love to see, I would love to be involved in some kind of physical, you know, witchy community over the next 5 years. I feel like I'm getting that yearning for kind of physical connection within witchcraft. So who knows? Or maybe within the next 5 years I'll be dead and coming back to haunt you all, or I'll show up as one of these spirit guides, or I'll be reincarnated into a tree. You never know. But, you know, it is what it is, and it was what it was. That is a saying that I learnt when I recently traveled to Bali. One of the Balinese men that was one of our drivers was Hindu, and he taught us that saying. I knew the "it is what it is" saying because, you know, that's a pretty well known "it is what it is," but I had never heard the "it was what it was" part, and I really liked that. So it is what it is, and it was what it was, is how I'm going to finish this video. Now, I've got a notification saying your connection is unstable. So I don't know what's happening, whether I'm even still here or what. So I'm gonna end this here. Oh no, I'm back. Good. All right. So I'm back. If I left, I'm not sure if I did or not, because I had a bit of an unstable connection there apparently. Anyway, I'm going to I've got some people here in the chat. Emilio De Luna, thank you for joining. Elder at the Alchemy, thank you for coming in. Ravenflower, I'm here because of you. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, I wish I saw this earlier. Alyssa, I'm actually not doing readings on this live, unfortunately. So perhaps I will finish this live and come back and maybe do a little bit of card slinging and maybe read some cards. So thank you, Ravenflower. Kisses all the way from down here in Australia. Thank you for tagging me in this tag. I'd seen it around over the last, you know, couple of months and wanted to do it, but, you know, I always need to kick up the butt to jump on here and make videos. So thank you for tagging me. This was fun. I've got one other tag as well that I've got to do, which is an Aussie Witches tag. So I might actually do that next as well. So stick around if you're around, and thank you for joining me on this tag. And tag, you're it. You're it. You're watching this, so you're it. Tag, especially you, Elder Crow from The Alchemy, because you're here and you're dobbed in. Thanks so much, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you all very soon. Mwah.